Well, this is my rant for this morning. Yesterday I didn't do absolutely nothing. I tried to make a couple of videos yesterday, and it didn't turn out too well because I utilized a different camera and experimenting to do something different, just as a hobby. And somehow or another, it turned out to be red like an apple. The photos or the what they call the worm or something. I forgot what it is. What is that? Anyway, I set my shutter speed and well, my Labor Day weekend ended, so I'm going back to work. And actually, I learned quite a lot this weekend. There was a lot of people in Galveston Bay protesting, or not protesting, but supporting Mr. Trump, the President of the United States of America. So they were basically campaigning for Trump, and I think that is beautiful. I think that is what the United States of America is all about. No America, no America. America is a continent. No, the United States of America is all about. Is try to show people that they do matter, and you see it, on this Labor Day weekend, where the holiday was set up by the United States of America citizens or nationals, imposing or breaking the whole of the industrialists on the workforce. Basically, they went from the massacre of Lulog. Go and check it out. Massacre of Lulog in Colorado, in Trinidad, Colorado, by the Rockefellers. Rockefellers go out there and slaughter everybody, make them work. I think it was the Rockefellers. Don't quote me. To the 8-hour work and so on, but not everyone is having those benefits of 8 hours of work, 8 hours of recreation, and 8 hours of sleep. Right now you have the transportation industry. They works 24 hours a day, every day, for a month at a time. They do make more money, but still, no recreation on that one. Also, I asked a few people a few questions, and this is what I want to talk about. These Trump supporters were supporting, or they are supporting, the immigration, the illegal immigration, the Shane immigration, what they call it, Shane migrant, where your parents move in and have you, and then they, after you were born, they bring you aunt, and they bring you a grandmother, and so on, and then you got married to I don't know, a lady from someplace in Germany, or maybe you got divorced and marry another one from Slovenia, and then you have a sex with another one from Russia, or from Italy, or from Poland, or from France, and you start paying the United States federal government for lawyers and so on, so they can obtain their citizenship. So now they got married to you. That you are the son of an immigrant. They came here in a chain migration, and then they bring their parents and the aunts and the cousins, and they have a kid with you, and then it's a chain. It's a chain. So they are protesting that. That is what they're supporting Mr. Trump. That is how Trump got them. Building the wall. The Mexicans are coming. The Cubans, boy, those people are like invaders. I mean, like Ted Cruz is an invader. Marco Rubio is an invader. So that is what they floating around with flags and stuff in Galveston Bay. So I asked him, why are you supporting Trump? Can you explain to me? So they repeat exactly what I just told you. And it was pretty fun, actually. And a couple of them got a little angry at me. Not angry, but you can tell that they resented their idea, or the condition reflexes are not that correct. They cannot defend it. So I asked him, hey, let me ask you something. Do you know the name of that body of water that you're floating around with your boat and your flags? And they say, yes, Galveston Bay. Very imperative. They have knowledge. These people have knowledge. And I say, do you know what it stands for? Do you know where that name come from, Galveston Bay? They have no clue. They have no clue. So I start teaching them, recondition them, and that is what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is trying to recondition you. When they understood the Galveston Bay is named after Bernardo Conde de Galvez, a Cuban, a Mexican, a Puerto Rican, a Dominican, a Venezuelan, a Spaniard, an Iberian. They recognized that this guy did not speak any English, and that this guy was the guy who actually blasted the English out of the United States of America, or the American continent, as it was called back then. One single continent, no North America, Central America, and South America. I explained that to them too. Of course, they are not going to accept it. They drink the Kool-Aid, and they are going to defend it. And I also point out to them that everything that they were trying to repress or trying to stop, Mr. Trump was. And they look at me like, what the hell you say? This guy saying they did not believe me. Mr. Trump is a chain migrant, an illegal alien in the United States of America, and now he's the president of the United States of America. That is how beautiful this country is. That somebody can come in as an illegal alien, like his mother, and probably his father or grandfather, and everybody, Melania Trump, and the other one. All the entire family is illegal alien or chain migrants. So now they can come here, make some money, lie themselves, condition everybody else to believe them, to rationalize that they are one of them because they are white, and voila, they on the top. They the president of the United States of America. Of course, they heard me, but they didn't make the connection. They rationalize, and nothing you can do. So these guys are running around thinking they are Americans, and that they are white, and they are all these color codes, and that I am the illegal immigrant, and that I am the invader, and that you are the illegal alien, and that you are the invader, and that you are African, and they not. So I asked the guy's name, hey, what is your last name, if you don't mind? You don't have to give it to me. And the man say, of course, it was not him by himself, it was many people out there, and his wife. He say, my last name is Snyder. Like Snyder, my name is Snyder. So I point out to him there, hey, do you know that you are a Spaniard, that you are Latin? And he looked at me like, no, I am not, I am white. Holy shit. So I really trick him off, And I say, do you know that Snyder come from Bavaria, from the Low Countries? The Low Countries were conquered by the Spaniards and controlled by the Spaniards for 200 years. Maybe even more. Today, I think they're still controlled by the Spaniards. And they still deny that, they actually denied it, My family not come from Spain. So I told him, hey, I'm not going to argue that. I never argue a point. I don't have to defend it either, but you go ahead and defend it and see. And of course, they They just made up the stuff. The question that I want to answer is this: how come that these people got to this point? That these people are calling themselves Americans, calling themselves all kind of names, calling themselves Republicans and Democrats, and they have been denied access to the United States of America, basically way of life, and accept that they are African. Point out the Mr. Biden, Joe Biden, have been calling them African for quite a while. Mr. Biden is an Irish immigrant. His mother, father, they ran out of Ireland because the English were attacking them. They are Roman Catholics. Now they are actually rationalizing that Mr. Biden is the good guy and the Mr. Trump is a good guy. But to me, neither are good guys. To me, just people who are destroying the United States of America, even if they are our head of government, head of state. And how we got to the point is education. It's education. The education have been completely collapsed. Not only collapsed, it's been replaced by misinformation, lies, just by recondition your brains. I'm going to give you an example of that. The evangelicals, everybody's evangelical. Back in the 80s, they used to call that born again. They do not use that term anymore for some reason. I have no idea why. But born again, I am a born again Christian. Born again this, and everybody's born again. So now we have a university that is called the Liverty University. I mean, this is a hell of a names they put in. And this Liverty University is charging a lot of money to already condition United States of America nationals to send their kids to get conditioned themselves. So now it's a shame. It's my father before me think this way, so I have to think this way. They don't realize it's their parents before they already been conditioned. We've been conditioning people since Reconstruction, and that is what we need to do. We need to reconstruct the education system. So now you got Liberty University run, or led by a guy named Jerry Falwell Jr., I think his name. And this guy was the son of another Jerry Falwell, a preacher that used to be part of the Ku Klux Klan now. I mean, this is people that came up on the 1930s. And Mr. Jerry Falwell Jr., he runs his university telling you the marriage is sacred, and you should not get married until you get a good job and good education. And he's telling you the marriage is amazing, and you should not have kids until, your biology should not work until you get married. And if you are a homosexual, either female or male, that is an abomination. And he's telling you all this crazy sex thing, basically destroying our biology. That is what that man is doing, destroying our biology and earning money from it, because their parents are already conditioned to believe that crap. So now you have this super Christian, evangelical Christian, that is supporting Mr. Trump. So now Mr. Trump is the guy who touches pussy when he get out of the bus and tell everybody. Mr. Trump is the one who goes and buy escorts from Europe. Don't get me wrong, the most beautiful escorts that Europe have. I mean, Melania Trump, she's beautiful. And Mr. Jerry Falwell is conditioning you and your kids. And now the reality is that Mr. Jerry Fowle knows this, so he is going to act up on his natural biology. So guess what they were doing? Mr. Jerry Fowle was having sex with Fowle Jr. having sex with a pool boy and his wife. So now the president of a university that is brainwashing you, conditioning you completely, now he is doing exactly what he's telling you not to do in the name of God. Yeah, in the name of God. So, whatchamacallit? The education collapses at this point, because what they're doing is destroying, is creating this crazy make-believe world. It's like La La Land. It's like Disney World, you know. Do you believe in all this crap, and they do whatever they want to do. They have sex with everybody that they think they like to, and so on. So the biology fault, and you see that in the kings and queen of Europe, where they intermarry each other. The biology was not the how can I say, biology was not the main goal. Creating a better how can I say, a better biology was not the goal. The goal was a political goal. The goal was to implement this idea of bloodlines. But the problem is that don't work in biology. Biology is all about diversity. It's about, the more diversity, the more variants that our family have, the how can I say, the more beautiful, the more stronger, and so on. So you see it plan out right there. You see that our education is no longer teaching people what biology is really about. They actually lie to them. Hey, DNA, tell you that you are 10% this and 10% the other, and 20% this and 5% of that, the other. That is all a lie. It is literally a lie. And we allow these people to condition our kids to believe that crap. So that is where the problem is. So when you see these people supporting these candidates and supporting these political movement and political parties, all of them are conditioned, every single one of them, including the leadership, if they believe it. Very few leaders know exactly what is reality and what is not, and only the scientists that dedicate their life to study this know what is real and not. And sometimes even the scientists, like the doctors and so on, are a little naughty themselves, because I went for an FAA medical, an FAA physical, to get my medical card to be able to fly an airplane. And the doctor was talking to the other, doctor that is learning, to be a doctor, medical student, and he was telling him about that I was Hispanic, and this is the most of the sense that I have, and so on and so on. So when I overhearing this, the conversation was not to me or with me. So I say, oh, that's crazy. So when he started examining me, I asked him, I'll blank, doctor, can you educate me, please? What race am I? And I just shut my mouth up. And he said Hispanic. And I say to him, can you prove to me that I am Hispanic? And he looked at me like if I was crazy. And he said, well, your name, you got your name, and we have all this data here. We got this application, and they say right here Hispanic, and I didn't say that I was Hispanic. Look at it. Look at that application again. And sure enough, I confused the guy, because when he read, I lied to him. I put race, I put other, and then I put Martian. Maybe that is what they deny my medical card, but that is exactly what I done. So I explained to the doctor, I hate to tell you this, but I might have to turn you into the FAA medical certificate, because hey, listen, there is no such a thing as a Hispanic race. And by the way, my race is human. I told him that. I'm a human race. So I let it go, I didn't call anybody, make noise. So that is where we are today. We are today in a place, the vast majority of the population, the 99% of the population, they are so conditioned, so paranoid, so crazy that the country has collapsed. The country of the United States has collapsed. When I saw these people out there on Bernardo Conde de Galvez waters, negating where they come from, negating the name, actually not knowing the name of Bernardo Conde de Galvez, their founding father, that means the country have collapsed as a country. We are no longer the United States of America. Now we are the country of America, the country of Fox, the country of CNN, the country of whatever the hell you want to believe. And that will make us collapse. Well, let me finish my rant. And remember, when Jerry Falwell Jr. tell you not to have sex, are you going to believe him? When he tells you you're a homosexual, don't have sex, are you going to believe him, or you are going to have a hell of a party? I don't know. If I was you, I'd have a hell of a party. I think sexuality is how can I say, it's a natural human state, and I think human should have any sex that they body or biology point out to them that they need to have it, as long as it's a consensual. And no, I'm not talking about rape and attacking kids and all these crazy things, But I think if you're a lesbian, hey, go for it. If you are a LGBT and whatever, hey, go for it, man. If you like to have sex with a pool boy like Mr. Jerry Falwell Jr., hey, I wish I was there. Let me tell you, Mr. Jerry Falwell Jr., I think you ought to give me a call, man. I can take you out to dinner. That is amazing. That is amazing how crazy people have gotten. What else to say is have a lot of sex, enjoy yourself. One sentence that I want to point out: do not allow anyone to condition your sexuality to be a political movement. Sex is a human natural behavior. It cannot be turned into a political movement, because it will destroy our biology. The same they destroy the biology of the kings and queens of Europe. You're gonna come out with a long jaw, I can tell you that. Saludos.